Mike, how do you think downtown Dothan would compete with what is currently called Country Crossing? Something inevitably very soon is going to happen in South Houston County.
I think
How is a business person going to be motivated if he has a choice to invest in downtown Dothan or to invest around something like Country Crossing?
Well, I mean, I think you're almost talking two different type of venues for the downtown. I think that, if you look at, let's just look at the Disney World area and the tourist area, it's entirely different than the downtown area of Orlando. It's two different people. In fact, when I go to Disney World, it's been a long time because my kids are grown now. I usually, if I'm down there for a few days, take one night to go down to the Church Street Station area. See, I've actually been talking with the planning staff about, okay, what can we do in our downtown core to provide an alternative when you've been down there several days and you want to go somewhere else? And I think there are opportunities here. I think you're going to see entirely two different things. I mean, it's sort of like, it's like old Panama City versus Panama City Beach. And I think that they're alike. I mean, I think that what we've got to do is figure out how can we use those hundreds of thousands of people that go there a year. What can we do to attract them in that's different? It could be that that we focus on a different type of entertainment. It could be that we offer restaurants other than more of a quiet venue or something like that, like Sergio's or something like that, where I don't know about y'all, but when I go somewhere, one of the places I go eat, I try to find out where the locals eat. I mean, I can go to the chains. You can go anywhere, but if you go somewhere that different, and I think what you're going to see is that to develop. Yeah, you may have some dinner theaters or some things like that, but probably if it's like you saw most other tours develop, the chains will be going there. I mean, they'll be going there. So, I mean, I think, so what do we do? And then maybe if it gets crowded and backed up enough, we offer an alternative to all that.
Well, now that the downtown special squad has been at it for a few weeks, what kind of changes and improvements are you seeing in either the perceived or real public's perception of public safety in the downtown area?
Well, I guess what I've seen is just comments from the folks down there. They like seeing the officers around more often. I mean, I haven't looked at any numbers, but that's what I've got. I know, some people in the downtown group, several businesses. I think that's what it does. I mean, they see somebody. I haven't had any complaints about parking enforcement. I don't know if that means they haven't done it or that we give enough publicity thanks to y'all ahead of time. But that's what I've heard. I mean,
well, you mentioned numbers. We used to get on a daily basis the crime stats analysis from the Dothan PD, and then it went to where we would get a week's worth 2 or 3 days after the week had expired. Now we're not getting them at all.
Oh, okay. I'll talk to John. Have you talked to John about that?
Not yet.
What don't you do? I'll try to remember to send him an email. I know he sends me a weekly report along with everything else, and it has those numbers, so I know he's still keeping them.
So you haven't seen a change in the downtown numbers in the recap?
Well, he's not. What he sends me is for the whole city. I have each department send me a little weekly report. Now, this is what I call an exception report. That is, I want to see something unusual. But John, on that, when he lists the unusual, he'll give me a recap at the bottom, tickets, citation issued, robberies and things like that. So I don't know. But asked him because I know when he changed the squad to go out, I guess I was told, that really the CAD system has the ability to reproduce all those reports, those numbers, and that we were still going to be able to put that in that format, and that was going to be transferred as a function, I think, of the lieutenant in 911 to produce those things. So I'm sure John's still getting those because they do something to brief the officers on every morning and every afternoon as they come to work. My voice is about to go. John, have I been over 45 minutes?
50.
Okay.
Can I?
Yeah, you can ask questions.
I just have one quick question.
Okay.
Can you talk about the developer announcing that Publix is going to be coming to Dothan?
Well, I mean, obviously, right now we've got potentially three three shopping centers on the thing. One will go before the Planning Commission next week. These two shopping centers about with the grocery store haven't really been submitted to the final planning review yet. So, I try not to get too excited until everything's ready to go. But obviously, I think it speaks well of Dothan and our economy that in the state of where it is, that that Lowe's decided to build a second store, that we've consideration for a major grocery store to come to town and do that. I think it speaks well of our economy. Dothan is very fortunate in that, for a number of years we've been one of the top producers statewide of sales tax revenue on a per capita basis. Now we know that. We know that we attract people from Florida. We know that we attract people from, western Georgia or southwestern Georgia and here in the surrounding areas. So, I think that. But obviously, I still have people who come to me and are upset that Bruno's left. They like Bruno's. They considered Bruno's I guess, for the lack of word, a very good grocery store. And I think that, any time that we can provide that and hopefully be able to attract other people into town because we have something different. So I think it's exciting. I think the fact that, in a down economy, we still got really, and they're not local, they're national developers willing to come in here and spend hundreds of millions of dollars to build shopping centers is a testimony for what they see the potential for this community.